Imagine this. It's 2008. Manchester City are a solid but unspectacular Premier League side, finishing ninth, with a stadium they don't even own outright and debts hanging over them. Fast forward to 2026, the same club is now valued at $5.3 billion by Forbes, one of the most valuable football teams on the planet. Their parent company, City Football Group, generates nearly £1 billion in annual revenue across 12 clubs on 5 continents. They've won 8 Premier League titles, a historic treble including the Champions League, and built a state-of-the-art campus that rivals NASA. How did a club that hadn't won the league since 1968 transform into a multi-billion-dollar sporting empire in less than 2 decades? This isn't just about money, it's about vision, ruthless execution, smart hires, global ambition, and an owner who played the long game. Today, we're breaking down exactly how Sheikh Mansour and his team turned Manchester City into a football superpower. Stick around. By the end, you'll understand the blueprint that every ambitious club is now trying to copy. Manchester City was founded in 1880 as St. Mark's West Gordon. By 1894, they were Manchester City. They won their first major trophy, the FA Cup, in 1904. There were highs, the 1937 league title, the 1968 league win under Joe Mercer and Malcolm Allison, the 1970 Cup Winners' Cup. But for decades, they lived in Manchester United's shadow. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, the club had become a yo-yo team. Premier League one season, Championship the next. In 2002, they moved to the City of Manchester Stadium, built for the Commonwealth Games, but they still rented it. Financially, they were struggling. Debts mounted. In 2007, Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra bought the club for around £81 million. He brought in Sven-Göran Eriksson as manager and signed some decent players, but political turmoil back home froze his assets. City finished 9th in 2007-2008, respectable but nowhere near elite. The fans were loyal, the history was rich, but the club lacked direction, money, and infrastructure. It was a sleeping giant waiting for the right owner. And in September 2008, that owner arrived. On 1 September 2008, Abu Dhabi United Group, ADUG, led by Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, completed the purchase. The reported price, around £200 to £210 million for control of the club. Sheikh Mansour, a member of the UAE royal family with an estimated personal net worth in the billions and family wealth in the hundreds of billions, wasn't just buying a football club. He was buying a platform to build something enormous. His right-hand man, Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, became chairman. Within hours, the world changed. On transfer deadline day, they smashed the British record by signing Robinho from Real Madrid for £32.5 million. The message was clear: we are here to compete. In the first 2 years alone, the club spent roughly £320 million on players, and Sheikh Mansour had earmarked up to $500 million more. They cleared $305 million in debt. Mark Hughes was manager at the time, but the spending spree continued under Roberto Mancini after Hughes was sacked in December 2009. What made this different from other rich owners? Vision. Sheikh Mansour didn't just want to buy success, he wanted to build an institution that would last generations. He brought in professional executives from top clubs. Ferran Soriano, former Barcelona vice president, became CEO. Chiki Bagiristan, another Barcelona legend, became sporting director. These weren't flashy signings, they were structural masterstrokes. By 2010, Manchester City were no longer a mid-table side. They were the richest club in the world on paper, and the transformation had only just begun. The 2010-2011 season delivered the first trophy in 35 years, the FA Cup, beating Stoke 1-0 at Wembley. But the real magic came in 2011-2012. City signed Sergio Aguero for £38 million. On the final day, against Queen's Park Rangers, they needed a win to claim the Premier League title on goal difference from Manchester United. With 2 minutes left, they're 2 down. Then, Aguero scores in the 94th minute. Aguero! The stadium erupts. City win the league for the first time in 44 years. The city of Manchester turns blue. Under Mancini, they also won the League Cup, but in 2013 they brought in Manuel Pellegrini. More signings: Fernandinho, Jesus Navas, Alvaro Negro. In 2013-14 they won the Premier League again and the League Cup, back-to-back titles. Commercially, everything changed. In 2011, the stadium became the Etihad Stadium, a landmark sponsorship deal worth hundreds of millions over the years.
Revenue started climbing. The club was learning how to turn sporting success into financial power. But Sheikh Mansour and his team knew this was still just the foundation. They wanted sustained dominance, not just flashes of brilliance. So in 2013, they took the next revolutionary step.
February 2016. Pep Guardiola arrives from Bayern Munich on a monster contract. The club had just won the League Cup under Pellegrini, but Guardiola demanded total control. He brought his philosophy: possession, pressing, positional play. The City way was born. The investment continued, but now it was smarter. Kevin De Bruyne, £55 million. Raheem Sterling, John Stones. Then in 2017-18, a record 100-point Premier League season. They won the league again in 2018-19, completing a domestic treble: League, FA Cup, League Cup. The first English men's team ever to win all three in one season. By now, the squad was stacked: David Silva, Sergio Aguero, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez. But Guardiola kept evolving. In 2021, they signed Jack Grealish for a British record £100 million. Then in 2022, Erling Haaland for £51 million, the signing that would break records. 2022-23 became the stuff of legend: Premier League, FA Cup, and finally, after years of near misses, the UEFA Champions League, beating Inter Milan 1-0 in Istanbul. The treble. Haaland scored 52 goals that season. Phil Foden emerged as a homegrown superstar. 8 Premier League titles since 2008, 6 under Guardiola alone. 4 consecutive titles from 2021 to 2024. City weren't just winning, they were redefining what dominance looks like. Meanwhile, the money side was exploding. Revenue hit record highs, over €700 million, topping the Deloitte Football Money League. Commercial deals with Puma, now worth over £1 billion across the decade, Etihad, and dozens of global partners poured in. The brand was global. The 2023 Champions League win wasn't just a trophy, it was validation. For 15 years, the narrative had been, they can't win in Europe. Pep proved everyone wrong. Then, in December 2023, they lifted the FIFA Club World Cup in Saudi Arabia, beating Fluminense. By 2025, Forbes valued Manchester City at $5.3 billion, up massively from the $212 million Sheikh Mansour paid in 2008. Annual revenue regularly exceeds £700 to £800 million. The club turned a profit in several recent years, while most clubs lose money. But here's what separates City from other super-rich clubs. They didn't just spend on players, they built systems. In 2013, City Football Group was officially born, a holding company to manage Manchester City and expand globally. The vision from Ferran Soriano: create a network of clubs sharing scouting, data, coaching methods, and commercial power. Today, CFG controls or has stakes in 12 clubs across 5 continents. New York City FC, 80%, founded 2013, Melbourne City, 100%, 2014, Yokohama F. Marinos, 20%, 2014, Montevideo City Torque, 100%, 2017, Girona, 47%, 2017, who reached the Champions League in 2024, Bahia in Brazil, 90%, 2023, Palermo in Italy, Troyes in France, Lommel in Belgium, Shenzhen Peng City in China, and more. They even had Mumbai City until divesting in late 2025, partner clubs in Bolivia, France, Singapore, and now the Middle East. The business model is genius. Young talents are scouted globally and developed at smaller clubs before moving to City or being sold for profit. Player loans flow between clubs, coaching staff rotate, scouting networks cover 500,000 players. The City way, Pep's style, is taught everywhere. CFG's total revenue hit £933 million in 2023-24. Manchester City contributes the lion's share, around 77%, but the network creates synergies no single club can match.
Silver Lake bought a minority stake in CFG in 2019, valuing the group at $4.8 billion then. The empire is worth multi-billions today. This is the first true multi-club ownership model at scale, and every big club is now copying it. Back home, the Etihad campus, opened in 2014 at a cost of £200 million, is one of the best training facilities in the world. Academy, women's team, esports, even a hotel and fame zone in the works. The Etihad Stadium is expanding to 61,000 seats. Commercial revenue is enormous thanks to the Abu Dhabi link, global sponsors, and the City brand being cool and modern. So how did Manchester City build a multi-billion-dollar empire? One visionary owner, elite executives, a world-class manager, and relentless investment in people and infrastructure, and a global network that no one saw coming. From a $200 million purchase in 2008 to a $5.3 billion valuation and a worldwide footprint, this is one of the greatest business transformations in sports history. What do you think? Is this the future of football? Let me know below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.